Over the 20-year history of the Battlefield franchise, there have been many great maps worthy of praise. Some maps become legendary, icons themselves of the Battlefield series and worth remembering for their balance, uniqueness, and special gameplay. This is the story of the best maps of Battlefield. Great vehicle-dominant maps may be few and far between, but they do exist, and in this case, it's purely iconic. Enter Operation Road Rage, a massive map with excellent flow thanks to its alternating flag layout set along a freeway interchange on the US East Coast. Somehow, the Middle Eastern Coalition invaded the US mainland. But game lore be damned, the map is fantastic. Road Rage is a 5-flag map which was part of the Battlefield 2 Armored Fury expansion pack, and here, vehicles take charge. In total, 8 tanks, 4 mobile AA, 2 scout helicopters, a vast array of light transport vehicles, drivable muscle cars and semi-trucks, and astonishingly, 2 attack jets per team can be found across the landscape. No attack helicopters may seem strange, but this is the very reason this map works as well as it does. Battlefield 2 attack helicopters had a notorious reputation of domination. TV missiles had a long range and one-shot nearly every vehicle, including tanks. Their absence allows infantry to flank the map in the fast movers and attack rear flags, and lets ground armor push flags without fear of instant retribution. Free to roam the map, the many tanks of Road Rage do battle constantly at every flag. Given the amount of transports and cars, there is plenty of targets to choose from and there is rarely a dull moment. Infantry squads attacking flags frequently steal empty, respawning armor, although it usually never lasts too long. Gaps in the concrete barriers along the freeway allowed vehicles to pass through, but the refractor engine featured almost non-existent destruction, so plowing through the walls and barriers was actually impossible. As a result, the terrain kept the cars, jeeps, and tanks in certain lanes on the freeway and required players to be careful when driving at high speeds. These indestructible lane barriers also provide excellent cover for infantry. In fact, it is because of the sheer amount of concrete and wrecked vehicles on the freeway that infantry can effectively move about the map on foot and counter the non-stop tank aggression. Outside of the flags themselves, cover is vastly reduced, so infantry tend to use the light transports far more frequently than walk from flag to flag. Along the way, players may encounter roadside advertisements, including one teasing the future Battlefield 2142 title. Starting from the north, the US main deployment is the farmhouse. A single tank and linebacker mobile AA spawn here, along with 3 DPV light transports, 1 Little Bird scout helicopter, and 2 A-10 Warthog attack aircraft on the airfield nearby. 2 Stinger turrets are in the area to protect from enemy jet camping, but it happens all the time anyway. Going south, the first flag along the highway is the gas station. It is the main gimme flag for the US and spawns most of their armor, including 1 more linebacker mobile AA, 2 Abrams tanks, another DPV, and a semi-truck. The gas station is the largest building here, although the diner and a few houses provide additional cover and detail. I should take a moment here to explain that while the semi-trucks look cool and all, they are still just transports, and die to a single tank shell. Meanwhile, the muscle cars, unique to the map, are only seen on the 16-player version. Not far south across the road is the next flag, the junkyard. This feature takes up a sizable zone of the map as the large fenced-in area has a mix of car wreckage and other assorted trash. The flag, however, sits near the small gas station outside, with a few garages in the surrounding area. Multiple hiding spots and routes in make this flag a great target for infantry attacks, although many head for the gas station instead and its multiple tank spawns. On the 64-player map size, the junkyard spawns an additional tank and 2 DPVs. In the middle of Road Rage is its defining feature, the flag above the overpass. The massive circular ramps on and off the intersecting highway provide access to the flag zone for infantry and vehicles. Some destroyed sections in the concrete walls allow easier access. Below the bridge, a few barriers and destroyed cars are in the area, as are 2 Stinger turrets. On the overpass near the flag is a few more cement barriers, car wreckage, and a downed road sign for cover. A ladder gives access to the flag zone from below. As the flag zone is incredibly small and atop the bridge, it is extremely defendable. Infantry can hold up here with AT rockets and shoot down at tanks. The debris on the road makes landmines incredibly useful, and even pushing up here with a tank is difficult. This also makes it among the most targeted flags on the map for the attack jets, which can get incredible kill streaks bombing the area. Nevertheless, everybody always tries to attack it anyway because of its unique location. The second most popular flag lies just southwest of the overpass. A large complex of buildings forms the shopping mall. Ladders on many of the buildings allow for rooftop access, making it a dangerous location for armor. Although the amount of structures and car wreckage make it a great infantry-dominant flag anyway. Snipers also tend to use the rooftops as a hiding spot and place claymores on the ladders. A row of trees line the parking lot in the center, obscuring some vision to the flag, which sits in front of the steakhouse. The amount of buildings in the area make infantry incursions a persistent problem, and because of this complexity, the main battles of Road Rage rotate between the overpass and here at the shopping mall. The controlling team is granted 2 light transports and 1 tank. At the southeast of the mall and across the highway, players can find the truck stop. This is a very wide open point defined by a large gas station. Several semi-trucks and tankers can be found in the area, providing limited cover for vehicles and infantry. The flag sits in front of a very small store next to the station. As this is the Mech Gimme flag, the same number of vehicles spawn here as at the US gas station flag in the northwest. 2 tanks, 1 mobile AA, 1 FAV, and 1 semi-truck. Finally, across the bridge furthest south is the Mech Main at an island oil depot. Just like the US main, it spawns 3 light ground transports, 1 scout helicopter, 1 tank, 1 mobile AA, and 2 Su-39 attack jets. The attack jets of each team are the powerhouses of Road Rage and help keep tank numbers in check. But, being a Battlefield 2 map, the engine required a forced limited draw distance. Even on the highest settings, a white fog prevented anything from being seen beyond a moderate range. This significantly reduced the potency of the attack jet aircraft, as pilots needed to navigate almost exclusively by their minimap, find targets using the 3D spotting of the flags, and use the vehicle indicators on the HUD. This fog also had the effect of making dogfighting difficult between planes, although this didn't protect them from each other. A quick sighting and one plane could easily delete the other with its 30mm cannons. Moreover, it didn't protect planes from mobile AA or Stinger missile emplacements, as the UI indicators detected the aircraft through the fog, and damage could come seemingly out of nowhere. 4 mobile AA are on the map total, but unlike other Battlefield games, these are relatively tame. Because the US linebacker shoots heavy explosive shells with a moderate rate of fire, it poses a significant threat to infantry, but makes hitting aircraft much harder. Conversely, the main guns of the Tunguska are rapid fire and brutally effective at shredding aircraft. However, these are less effective against infantry as the radar sensor dish on the front blocks some vision. Both vehicles are also just as squishy as any other BF2 ground armor, meaning that aircraft can blow through them in a single pass if they are seen first. At the same time, the effectiveness and amount of missiles makes them a serious threat. The attack jets could do significant damage to flag areas and vehicles with their main guns and bombs, but these were balanced by BF2 aircraft ammo and health systems, requiring a flyover of the main runways after each sortie to rearm and repair. In addition, it can be argued that having 2 attack jets per team kept each plane always under threat, once again diminishing the effectiveness of such strong aircraft. As for the scout helicopters, these are definitely not the workhorses that appear in future Battlefield games. The only armament is the miniguns, which, while effective against only infantry and light transports, takes some patience and skill to aim. Given that each team usually holds 2 mobile AA, the scout helicopters of Road Rage usually stay on their respective sides of the overpass, cleaning up wandering infantry parties trying to backcap flags. If they get greedy and stray too close to the overpass, it's almost certain death. What makes Road Rage so damn good? It seems like such a simple map at a glance, but the infantry and armor balance of Battlefield 2, wherein AT rockets are extremely effective versus armor and tank LMGs are super effective against infantry, make it work in a mutually assured destruction sort of way. It has a unique flag layout with a major focus on the overpass, an objective constantly bombed but enjoyable to defend. The huge variety and number of light transport vehicles and the fast pace at which they respawn allow players to quickly deploy and make their way to enemy flags over and over. Full caps are somehow unlikely, which is somewhat odd given the linear flag layout and the amount of potential vehicles on one side. The only major threat on the map, the attack jets, are somewhat kept in check by their own counterparts, the strength of air defenses, and the unfortunately low draw distance. And finally, not having Battlefield 2's attack helicopters here provides such a fantastic environment for ground vehicles. The map is so good that it is begging for a remake. In an updated Battlefield, the concrete barriers would be destructible, and the view distance would be far greater. Vastly more amounts of cover would be needed in the form of destroyed automobiles lining the freeway, enough for infantry moving across the map to take shelter. Perhaps the greatest challenge of a remake is the addition of easy-to-use lock-on missiles like javelins in more modern battlefields. This would need to be taken into account by perhaps adding large roadblocks or semi-truck trailers that tanks could use for cover. Of course, the greatest strength of Road Rage is once again its vast collection of drivable cars, trucks, and light transports, as well as the open terrain around the main freeway, which allows players to keep the battle going continuously. A final potential change might need to be the revision of the mech main base location, as being on a peninsula is just begging to be contained. Operation Road Rage is a Battlefield 2 masterpiece. A marvel of a vehicle-heavy map rarely seen. Its vast tank play is one of the best in the series. Teamwork occurs naturally in large armor pushes thanks to the Engineer AoE repair perk. It remains balanced by the limited but extremely efficient anti-vehicle infantry weapons, and Mobile AA keeps aircraft from becoming too strong. It checks all boxes necessary for great fun and armor madness, except for perhaps those lone wolf medics who dare not pick up a rocket launcher.